眩しくて夜に溶け出す少年隊生命体由来年と向かって進め意味なくひたすらにただ追いかける僕らは惹かれ合う者たち僕らは光り合う者たち
Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'm going to share my thoughts on Digimon Ghost Game episode 23, which I really enjoyed this episode and I kind of wish the whole series was like this. I mean, early on we had Bokumon as a side character who appeared in pretty much every episode. And in this one we saw the return of Clockmon and Mummymon helping the Tamers, which was like awesome, man, because the thing with Clockmon, which is interesting, is that he was actually the villain in the very first episode. And then he also appeared as the villain yet again in a later episode, I forget which one exactly, but from that point on, he's sort of been like a vigilante helping the Tamers from the outside going against the villainous Digimon. So it was cool to see his return, and then I think this is the first time we've seen Mummymon return since he was a villain, and he wanted to be like a doctor or whatever, that was his whole plot. But the cool thing on this one too, is we saw Morphemon, which is the Digimon that was in the movie Last Evolution Kizuna, sort of as the villain, I guess. Really, the villain of that movie was the female character. I forget her name exactly, but she had the Morphemon, and if you remember the plot of that, you know, grew up and didn't have a Digimon anymore, and then sort of created Morphemon again, and, you know, just watch my review for that movie if you haven't seen it already, or just watch the movie in general, because that's a great one. But, it starts off here with Clockmon actually going after these Digimon that are possessed by this virus from Morphemon, turning them all berserk and evil, and slowly but surely it starts infecting all our Tamers Digimon, starting with Jellymon, and Kiyoshiro is just like shitting his pants. He's like, oh, help me, Jellymon's gone nuts, and he like races into Hiro's room for protection, and you hear, because he's like the dorm leader from the school, I think, that's what they call him, Senpai is the dorm leader, and you hear like all the other students murmuring like, oh, Senpai, you gotta quiet down, or whatever, and he's having a panic attack, and, you know, Gamamon's like, I'll protect you, Kyo, I'm getting bad vibes, you know, his little catchphrase there, and, you know, slowly but surely, the Tamers are trying to figure out, like, what went wrong with Jellymon, but then Gamamon gets infected, turns berserk, and then Angormon also gets infected and turns berserk, and, with the help of Clockmon, they're able to figure out, like, what exactly happened. And same with Mummymon, because I guess now, since he wants to be a doctor or whatever, he's actually in, you know, the field. And there's like an Easter egg where they go to the hospital, and it's called, like, Toei University Hospital or something, which I thought was pretty cool, because, of course, Toei is the animation company. But yeah, I'll start by showing you some screenshots, because I got a lot of cool pictures for you. And really, a lot of humorous scenes, especially with, you know, Kiyoshiro going to Hiro and Gamamon for help. And he's like, I'll give you all this champion if you protect me. You know, the champion is his chocolate. And, you know, Gamamon goes into, like, a food coma, which is hilarious. But, you know, it starts with look at Kiyoshiro's face. And I love two of these characters. They, like, change their clothes from time to time. These are their pajamas, obviously. Because in a lot of anime series, you know, the characters are in their default clothes, and that's it. Like, look at old Digimon. Look at, like, Pokemon. Like, this Ash ever changes clothes. You know, so I like how they changed their wardrobes. Because you kind of saw, too, early on when they had the Halloween-themed episodes. You know, they were in, like, more fall clothes. And you know, just take note of that. I find that interesting. This is Kyo giving him all the champion. Look at Gamamon's face, bro. Oh, my God. And then he goes into a food coma after eating it all as he's blushing. And they're trying to study as to what's going on. And actually, Gamamon asks Hiro for the encyclopedia, which is his tablet, his iPad or whatever, and he starts reading it, and like this red virus like comes out of the tablet and infects Gamamon, and then he goes berserk. Here's Jellymon all infected with her eyes, and Kiyoshiro's using the canned air to try and stop her. And then same thing, Gamamon gets infected. You can see like how OP he becomes, which I guess he's strong naturally. You know, punching his fist right through that frying pan or whatever. And to stop this, what Hiro does is he goes into like the spice cabinet, and those are like hot peppers or whatever, and that's able to revert Gammon back to normal. And you see he gives him like all sorts of hot sauce, mustard, whatever. And Gammon's like, ah, too spicy. And then he's drinking a bottle of water later. So many cute scenes of Gammon. Hope you can see, yeah, you can see that because, you know, my picture's a little small, so you can see that. And then, yeah, cool seeing Clockmon return, and he does his attack, Chrono Breaker, and he's like, you know, fighting the infected Digimon. And I like seeing Clockmon because, like I said, he was the villain in the very first episode, and then he sort of become like this vigilante helping the Tamer. So I like that. And like it would have been awesome if he appeared in more episodes. But that's him and Mummymon. I like how they have their goggles and their mask on in the hospital as they're figuring out what this infection is and what's causing it. And then eventually what they have to do is they figure out that Morphomon, I'll show you Morphomon, which you probably already know, but here's Morphomon, and this is the one appeared in the movie Last Evolution Kizuna with Manoa. That's the character's name. I forgot her name, sorry, but great movie. You want to check that one out, and she's a rookie. But, where were we? So, what they figure out is that this Digimon is being experimented on by the humans, and it's calling out for help, and they deduce that they have to destroy this satellite, and by destroying the satellite, it'll make Morphomon go back to normal. And you have Kiyoshiro over here with his laptop figuring out where the satellite is, and then Gammon digivolves into Wezengammon and does this new attack where it fires this fucking cannon into outer space, taking out the satellite. It was so over the top and crazy, but I loved it, man. And I love this shot, too, of like the whole group here. And there's Morphomon back to normal in the hologram form. But, like, having Clockmon, look at this dude. Having this guy helping. I love it, man. I'd love to see Clockmon help out some more. That would be really cool. Jellymon made me want to attack even more, darling. She was getting into attacking Kyo. Oh, man. Loved it. And here's some fan art I found on Twitter of Clockmon. And then Bandai put this out themselves with Wezengammon and Clockmon. So I love this episode, man. I would like to see more of the other Digimon help the Tamers, like Clockmon and like Mummymon. I'd like to see them, similar to how we saw Bokumon appear so much early on. And then the other guy, the Elephant Digimon, I think his name is Bakumon, which is kind of interesting. Bokumon, Bakumon. So it'd be cool to see them more often. We'll see what happens next. I remember reading like months ago before they went on hiatus, they had the synopsis for some of the episodes, and they had mentioned that there's going to be another character with a first and last name. So I wonder if we're going to get an introduction to a new Tamer, because actually the one experimenting on Morphomon was a child, like the age of the Tamers here. So I wonder if that was the Tamer, but I don't remember if they addressed her by name in this episode. So we'll see what happens. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below. Tomorrow I will have my review of Stranger of Paradise, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to address that like non-spoiler in the beginning, and then halfway through I'll say spoiler warning, because there's stuff to get to with the plot in terms of that one. I know not everyone's played that game yet. And then of course Thursday my live stream, so stay tuned for all that stuff, and have a great day, guys.